Ooh, will you go get my glasses out of the bedroom? I forgot so all about that. I was like, I can't see. Hey guys, it's Joey, aka Amanda Bone here, and I'm doing my interview. I know we took a little hiatus after Matcha and Kezra, but joining me today is the genderless robot himself, Francis Queerbot 9000. He's going to grab me my glasses real quick so I can see the screen because I was blind. Like, I could just blurry see me. Okay, I can see it.
We're early, too. Look at that.
Yeah, we did. Usually it's 6, and we were trying to keep up the theme. It was really cool. So, yes, we are here with Francis Queerbot 9000 today, who also makes stuff, too. So it's not just entertainment, and is multifaceted, which means male appearing and female appearing characters. So, which was something that we were talking about right before we went live because we were trying to figure out pronouns because I'm so bad with pronouns and it's never on purpose. Hey Kurt, love you. Oh, hey Naomi. Okay, so Brandon is live with us and keeping track of questions and stuff. I see him over on the other side, so I know that's going to be done. But we are here with Francis today. It was great to finally get somebody in, and he is painted, and it had been like 2 or 3 weeks in between the last interviews or whatever, and we're still getting stuff together. But we are at my house, so I thank you again for coming out this way.
Happy.
I had a very busy week, so freaked out, graduation, doing all that stuff. I'm promoting a new night on Thursdays. I love you too, Kurt, and we love Hamburger Mary's, and we're going to fight the good fight. So not only did I have school and tests, but I promoted my night last night, which is every Thursday. It is the 214, which is February 14th, Valentine's Day. It's the Valentine's Throwback Party at Southern Nights Tampa. We have Latin and hip-hop going on. And Kezra's watching. Yay! Okay, so I was busy, and it just fell into place that we were close to 6 o'clock, and he was able to come over today. So, again, forgive me if I'm not using the right pronouns later because, like, I'm scatterbrained and I was hungry and we just got food and everything. But we are here with Francis, and I'm going to let him introduce himself, and then we will ask some questions. Thank you, Mark. The Battle of the Families was great. I hope we do support Tampa Pride. It's like every time somebody comes up here. But go ahead and introduce yourself to the children.
Hi, I'm Francis Queerbot 9000, also known as the Rhinestone Robot of Tampa and the Android of Androgyny, which, thank you, Aaron Phoenix, for that one. I've been doing drag for 2 years as of the 20th of this month, and over time I have developed into this glorious automaton creation that you see before you.
And the makeup is on point.
Thank
I
you.
do like when you were live earlier and you were saying how you like to give yourself that little plastic shine, that little
I want to look
sheer.
as unreal as I can.
And we're going to talk about some makeup stuff that I'm going to have to introduce you to. It's a clear holographic shimmer, like a highlight. So once you highlight your face, and if you like frame it out and you do it, when you turn the light, it gives you that like shine thing. There's so much stuff. I love it. Okay, so we're going to get into a couple of questions, and again later we will take some questions for you. Brandon is monitoring the live over there. I don't have my phone because we are filming on my phone today, so forgive me, but it is a cute Note 9, and it's got a very good camera, so we're going to go from there. I'm just now growing my beard back in from the Battle of the Families because I shaved and I had to be a woman. And I miss it somewhat, but I can tell you that I do not ever want to work at Honey Pot. And it's not for any bad reason other than I'm fat, and there's like 4 flights of stairs in high heels. I was dying at the Battle of the Families. I was just dying. Those stairs. The next 2 days, my ass and my legs were killing me like up and down. And I had on heels, like 6-inch heels. So it was just something. So one of my first questions is, which you already introduced yourself, is Francis Queerbot 9000. Where did your drag name come from? Your performance, and also you have more than one. So we're gonna go over all of them.
So we're gonna start with Francis. So originally, when I was trying to come up with my persona, I was originally going to be a pirate. It was going to be Francis Queerbeard the Weird because I wanted my thing to be Glitterbeards. And then I was like, it's kind of a thing that I didn't really feel like I would want to keep doing it, and I felt I'd get really pigeonholed in that. So we were just, my partner at the time and I were just kind of dicking around, and then we were listening to Steam Powered Giraffe, and I went, I could be a robot.
Because robots can do anything.
Right, and there's also that level of androgyny that goes with, the fact that robots generally aren't made with genitals. Generally, so now there's a running joke about me having a detachable penis, and
which is okay. Like, who cares? Because then size really doesn't matter if you could like change it out.
Spins and vibrates. It's amazing.
And then you have another one because you have just recently introduced a more feminine character, correct?
Right. So recently, I just kind of started exploring into femme drag as Sasha Poison, which is actually Francis in drag. I'm gonna go gaga on this shit.
It's okay. It's very A dream inside of a dream inside
Yes.
of a dream. Okay.
So it's sort of the feminine aspect. Both of my drag personas are exploring, hyper and masculinity and femininity, as well as kind of blending in between, because I myself in the Muggle world am non-binary, and it sort of helps me kind of like deal with that and find a good balance, as well as be a lot more weird without being expected to be more socially appropriate, I guess.
I'm not appropriate at all. If anybody knows me, they know I'm not appropriate. So
I turn into a fucking goon whenever I'm just as Juno, and my friend Minnie.
See, I never knew your Muggle name. I never knew that. I just always called you Francis, and I knew you from a couple of times at Queen of the Night.
Right.
And there was some, like, I didn't know you as well. And that's, like, what part of this whole going live once a month thing is I know them and I see them out and about, and I was such a intricate part of the drag community, and people coming up like Jade, and we talk about all the time, Jade, Carl, Aquarius Infinity, Lady Janet, Jalitza, all these people got their start at My Talent Night at Valentine's back in the day. So, like, I knew all of those girls. And it's funny because I was one of the new girls, and now I'm kind of like, our family, like, in the community, I'm more known, so I do the contests, and I judge, and I help people out, and we, like, make pads. So, a lot of these new girls, I took, like, a hiatus from drag. I, like, wanted to just work and be my boy self and have a beard, because I look like Pugsley without a beard. And that was the worst thing about, like, doing drag for me, is shaving. And I'm a Demorne, and if I had a beard and did beard or drag while my mom was still in the state, she would punch me in the throat. So, there's that. But I need to get to know you guys. So to have you here and be able to have a conversation with you and talk with you is awesome. So we went over how you got your drag name. What would you say the aesthetics are for both of your characters?
Francis is a lot more artistic, very, think very artsy-fartsy, like, he's also the embodiment of all of the happiness that's inside of me, or what little is left, because in the real world, I'm a very cynical, angry, salty person. So he's very much more like, oh, wow, life is great, this is fantastic. So I'm going to dress in brighter colors, but still have that, kind of black, because it's very sharp. A lot more fashionably out there. Whereas Sasha is very much the corporate goth, kind of almost old bat, but still very crisp, very clean. Conundrum said it was very, very sharp? That's another word she used. But, she's a lot more mysterious.
The pictures were very edgy. Like that edgy, mysterious.
Edgy without the edgelord.
But you can, if you want to scooch a little bit closer, you can. Because you're in the frame, but I want them to get a good look at your mug, because it's not important if I'm in the frame, it's important if you are. Okay, so we found out how you got your name, we know your aesthetic, and we get all of that. Where is your home bar? Like, where did you premiere? Where would you call your home bar?
So, I actually started at the contest, So You Think You Can Drag at Southern Nights Tampa. That's where I was kind of starting to really cut my teeth. And then I was at Iberian for a little while, because they were doing the Do You Think You Can Drag Kings edition in partnership of Underground, which was the, primarily lesbian night, and I think they still do the pop-up events around the Central Florida area. And then when I won that, and then I would occasionally go out for the night, and then more recently I've been at Cityside with the Just Slay contest.
You're in the finale?
Yes. Okay. I won week 2, actually doing Femme Drag, which I'm very proud of that. It was very unintentionally Missy Elliott, but to Alanis Morissette, and it worked really well.
Hey, I like the Alanis Morissette cover of My Humps by the Black Eyed Peas. Have you ever heard that?
No.
Oh, it's hilarious. If you ever get a chance, look up Alanis Morissette, My Humps. It's everything. Okay, so right now, they can like, your home bar would be Cityside. Yes. That's where you're performing, you're doing your stuff there. Okay. The other questions were more like, some of the people in the community that you look up to, older people in the community, like set guys
definitely
in the community. Give me 2 of them that you look up to.
Tay Monet is a big one for me, and she has been one of my biggest supporters, like, since I got started.
That's my sister. I love her.
There's a lot to name.
Well, I just need 2.
Yeah,
so we got
I know.
Tay. Is there a male figure that you look up to in the community?
Definitely Spikey Van Dyke. He was a big part. Actually, the very first night I ever competed, he happened to be doing the Speakeasy Wednesdays at Liquid. May it rest in peace.
Which is now a game bar.
Right. And he came up to me while he was performing, recognized I was wearing a glitter beard, and got so excited and grabbed the sides of my face. And then after his number, he came and sat down next to me and was like, "Hello, you're a drag king. Let's talk." And at that point, I'm just like, "Senpai noticed me."
I remember Spikey I had performed at Val's every once in a while, like Six from Success, Six Pack, who owns Success Beauty in St. Pete, Spiky Dikey, Teddy D, Tyreek. Like, those were my drag king, my, like, whatever. It's like Teddy D used to just sing my pants off. It would make me so crazy.
I got to work with his sister, actually, Frankie, at a private event.
Frankie Markstone. We did a biker, like, tits for tots thing, like a breast cancer biker thing. And I was on a bowling league, and we were at our bowling thing, and I get a phone call, and it's this girl, Lasha, and she's best friends with them. And she was like, "I need your help." I was like, "What's up?" She's like, "How quick can you be in drag and be to the..." It was River something. It was across from Chambers. It was this old bar. She was like, "So we have a benefit going on tonight, and we have no host. Teddy's there, Frankie Markstone's there, but we just need somebody to host who's good on the microphone." And she was like, everybody was like, "What's Amanda doing?" "Hey, Matcha." And I was like, "Well, I'm at a bowling alley over off of Fletcher, so I can go home real quick." And it was so funny because it was on a Wednesday, and I had shaved Tuesday for drag at Valentine's. So I was like, "I'm going to go home and run a quick razor and grab my bag, and I'll be there. Like, give me a second." And I was done before everybody else. And I was still painted. I had on lashes. The only thing I did not have on was nails. I was padded, painted, everything. I didn't have nails. I wore gloves because I was like, "Bitch, not happening." Like, back there trying to glue on all that. And we hosted this night, and it was the first time I ever worked with Frankie. And she was like, "I fucking live for you. Like, you're so stupid." I was like, "I know." Because, like, halfway through, I'm in nothing but panty girdles and this biker t-shirt, the titty savers, like, thing. And it was so funny. So, okay. So, what are two people that are... Oh, you have them? What are... Finally. Because I was, like, not looking. Stage name. I was trying to remember from whatever I told you. Okay. That was one that I passed up. Do you have a drag family or drag parents?
So... I'm going to say yes to the family, kind of, especially the Central Florida Kings. We sort of, like, include each other. It's like,
yes.
Tony Hustle's definitely my drag brother. Apollo Infinity, I count him as one of my brothers. Motherfucker was there for me. Apollo Infinity.
Roxas? No, that's Roxas Apollo Infinity. Never mind, I'm confused.
Apollo Infinity is.
Oh, okay, Apollo.
Yeah.
Bitch, I'm so.
I'm
sorry, I'm
Latin
retarded.
fuckboy. Self-proclaimed Latin fuckboy.
Yeah, Macho's dad.
Yes.
I am so, like I told y'all, I was out of it today, and I did not drink at all today. Last night I drank, and I'm not high or anything. It was like taking me from like Apollo. I'm thinking like Roxas Apollo. Like,
no, it's Apollo Infinity.
I got it. I'm here now.
Daddy, Big Daddy. Sorry, no, there was a fun story.
I mean, I would fuck him because I love fuckboys. I have a thing for Latin fuckboys.
We were staying at his house, and like I was so fucking exhausted. This was during some really like shitty point in my life. Just a few months ago, actually, my whole life, the last couple of like years have been shitty. But so I'm laying on his couch, and like he brings over a blanket and puts it on me, and like, "Thanks for tucking me in, Daddy." And at point he was like, "Bitch, bye." There's a lot of people, like, I definitely count Taya's family. Everybody at Cityside is family.
All right, so who are you closest with that you consider family? Like,
Tony Tesla, for sure. He's actually the reason I started performing and competing.
I would love for him to come and...
He just came out of his hiatus because he was going through some stuff at home, getting his personal life all together, but he's been competing the last couple weeks at Cityside, and he has taken the world by storm again, because let me tell you, the motherfucker can sing. So,
Cityside's... So the sleigh contest is what nights? Because since we're on that, we need to go ahead.
So they do Tea Party Tuesdays, and it's still Tea Party Tuesdays. Which is Conundrum
and Tay.
Yes, and then they are doing the Just Slay for Tea Party Tuesdays, and that starts at 10 p.m. The first half is the show itself, like with Tay, Conundrum, any guest performers or anything like that. Then the second half is where the contestants actually compete. So like way you have enough time for everybody to get there, really get settled, enjoy a couple drinks, and then they can see all the performers back to back. So that way, you don't miss anyone because first season we were kind of ironing out the details, and then, you know, going into the second
Who
one.
won the first season?
That was Constance Panic, who
we just worked together.
Her boyfriend is on here right now, Devin. Hi, I love you, Devin.
D'Angelo. Devin D'Angelo. Okay, see, I think
that is Devin, okay, yeah.
I met the, I had heard of Constance and I knew them, but I barely venture out to that side. Like, I've only been to Pulse like 2 or 3 times.
Right.
So, but, the Panics are one of my sister houses.
Yes.
So Danica and Power.
She was the one that did the bluster
the trifecta. Yeah. I know who she is now. Like, we've talked. And we got to share a dressing room, and probably one of the most greatest drag experiences so far has been both of the Battle of the Families. Being in the drag room with the Infinities, who we love, like Justaria, DDL, the shadiness and the fun and like the camaraderie and the actual sisterhood. It was so much fun. And Constance is huge. Like, I did not realize she was that tall.
Yeah, if I'm not wearing heels, I'm doing this the whole time, which is fine because it works.
Another one that I did not realize was so tall is Jacqueline St. James. Oh my God. So if you go look on Lady Janet's page, I'm sorry, my allergies are killing me today. If you go look on Lady Janet's page right now, you'll see a picture of me and Jacqueline St. James, and I'm hugging her, and I'm literally like titty level. It's like, mommy, like, it's so crazy. They're so big. But Constance and them, and I think her boyfriend Devin was in the dressing room with us tonight. They were so nice. Like,
they are
I live for
genuinely
them.
Good people, and I love you guys.
The Panics. My sister houses, the Infinities and the Panics, bitch. We are lit. Okay. How does your biological family feel about you and performing?
So it's kind of a mixed bag. My grandfather, since I moved in with him last September because I had just moved back to Tampa, the result, bunch of things happening. He has not missed a single show that I've performed in since I moved in with him. No, and this man is 71 years old, and he makes sure everyone gets tipped. He makes sure that he is there as on time as he can be. Like, my biggest supporter is my grandfather. My mom has recently told me she's very proud of me and expresses certain things, but she has yet to be in one of my shows, so I'm a little bit salty about that, but her health notwithstanding, you know.
Did you make these?
I did, in fact, make these.
I
did.
Right?
I did this.
Yes.
I did this, and all of the stoneware. Oh, wait.
Yes, show us.
And I also did this.
Oh.
I'm shameless.
No, it's okay. I'm bugging you. I want them to know. And see, I live for it because we often get a confusion about drag or drag king where you could just throw on boys or girls clothes and go out there, which is fine. Everybody's got to start somewhere. But when you start performing and you expect to get bookings, you have to polish that out and do stuff. And a stone costume or something that's well put together is great because you binding, whatever you all do, like drawing on facial hair, that's something that I look for. It's not, by any means, are there any rules of what you have to do. But especially here in Tampa, to see the kings who put in ideas for costumes, have stuff made.
The biggest thing that I've learned is that if you present a polished look, you are more likely to get booked. And that was the big thing that I was trying to iron out for myself, was getting myself more fine, getting myself, you know, more polished, figuring out the culture itself of drag and what they're going to look for in me, because whenever you're doing mass presentation, you have to present a certain level of kind of uniqueness that separates yourself, you know, literally from the men, from the boys. And then if you are in more of an androgynous performer, you know, like, what about you makes you stand out in that way? You know, I've been very lucky that I get to work with people that don't judge me for being an AFAB person, but that's not the rest of the...
Closer.
Oh, right, yeah, kind of...
We keep moving once you stood up.
I lean over so I'm not, like...
Yeah, like, we're looking at each other. I do the same thing, like, I don't mind, because, like, that's what I was doing, because I was sitting back here, so it looks like we're together, so that we can, like, do it, but I'm fat today, so... Okay, so we found out the first place you performed was So You Think You Can Drag.
Yes.
Tell us about your first time ever in drag and your first performance.
I was terrified because I've done stage work before. I went to Blake High School, a theater kid, like, through and through.
Year of 2000, Blake.
Oh, shit. 2010. What up?
Oh, I'm old.
Oh, yeah, no, just for a fun fact on that one, we're literally...
I got stabbed at Blake.
I'm not surprised. We lost our vending machines because they kept getting knocked over.
one of our principal teacher ladies got pushed
Yeah.
down the stairwell,
Jesus
and they used to throw those milk bags at her.
We had like the last.
I was
couple
there
weeks
I was the first graduating class from 9th grade to 12th grade because when the school opened, we had
Yeah.
9th, 10th, and 11th graders. We had no 12th graders. So
We had someone take a shit in our stairwell.
Yeah,
It was just
we
a
had
steaming pile of shit.
we
It was
had drug
beautiful.
dealers living under the lunchroom auditorium stage when I went there. Yeah, it was so much fun.
No.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. Your first time in drag.
First time in drag.
'Cause we
So, my mouth was really dry because, like, you just that fear kicks in, and then just suddenly you're just like, please tell me I'm moving it. And it's funny because I look absolutely nothing like I did at the time, which was, I was literally wearing my Blake GSA shirt because we finally got them to fucking let us do it. And I had like.
They should have. Like, there was nothing but gay people.
It took
and,
forever. Well, there's still the fucking rumor going around that it's the only high school in like the Hillsborough area where you're going to see the fucking football players walk on the field holding hands because they're dating. Yeah, no, like I was.
Like, you go to
panic.
Blake when more boys are holding hands than girls, or
Right.
yeah, it was so funny. So your mouth was dry.
Yes.
You were performing, but you
And
did it,
I did
right?
it. I fucking did it. And both Jade and Gio were like, "Oh my god, thank you for coming out. That was really great." And I was like, "Thanks. That was my first time." Ah! And the manic stage set in for a while, but
I just want everybody to know that I have the worst assistant ever.
Shut up. I've done nothing wrong. I've done everything.
All right, we
you
talked
have.
about some established queens that inspire you.
Yeah,
So give me 2 new queens that have popped up on the scene with you that you.
I'm gonna say
Look
it.
forward to.
Constance Panic. I want to fucking work with her so goddamn bad.
That's a whole other question. Just tell me 2 queens that inspire you.
Constance, big inspiration for the growth. Like newer queens. Oh god, been under a fucking rock. Okay, so Bariano, All Shade, is not technically a queen. I don't know how he wants to define himself, but as a performer in the drag scene, I was really impressed with what I was seeing, and it was incredibly inspirational to me. Like, motherfucker's lip sync was so goddamn on point.
I've never met him, so I
Wait,
hope he
no,
adds me
you
on
wait till you
Facebook,
see
so
he's in the finale, because
we can
oh
talk.
my god.
Okay.
Like,
Okay, so now I want 3 queens that you like, dream queens to work with, to collaborate with, to do a number with. King, queens, whatever. 3 people that you would
Performers.
love to perform with. Like, your top 3. Like,
I want to work with Sasha Sensation, and I mean, it was funny because like over a year ago,
it's
I
my
told her,
daughter.
Yeah, I love you. I love you, beautiful goddess. Make it a little creepy.
No, she's going to love to hear that.
No, I adore her. See, this is why you can't do this to
Yeah,
me.
on the spot.
Fuck!
We were talking about collaborations. You want to do collaborations.
Yes.
So I was like, that's one of the questions.
I want to collaborate. My friend Anomaly, actually, who used to work out over at Lake
I
Hills.
know who it is.
Yes.
I live for her. Isn't her tongue split and all the piercings?
Yes. Yes,
Which I
and
live for
actually
her.
last night they messaged me and was like, or actually it was this morning, like, because I happened to be awake at like 6:30 in the morning because my girlfriend had to get up for something, and they popped on and were like, hey, you've been liking my shit, I know you're online. We're going to talk about a number, so I'm like super hype about that. I want to do a duet with Tay. I feel like we could do something really fun with that.
Oh yes, I love. I've got to work with like a lot of the people that I wanted to work with. Like, again, I would love to do a duet with my mother. Hi Desiree, she's on here now. We love you. Please be careful, be safe, be warm. I know it's cold. Hopefully we'll see you Monday. She's moving back to Arizona. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to cry on live, but we love
That's
you.
fair.
But Desiree, I would always love to. But I've got to perform with Power and D Lovely and Kyla. So that's like things. But I would love to do. I said it, everyone. Like maybe with Kezra, with
Kezra would be a lot of fun to work with.
Adriana Sparkles. But see, I like to do board numbers and I don't get to do them that often. So, and I think whenever we should do a number together. Like I would love to. Like I'm always looking for something like the Billie Eilish and Khalid song, and like I love rock and roll, like Evanescence and Seether, and like
I have a song.
so we'll have to
I
talk
have a
about
song,
it.
okay.
But I love doing duets and like getting to work with somebody. And the
Lilith Black's another one. I know it's
oh
only
yes,
named 3.
Oh.
I
I want to
it's
do
a-
stuff with Lilith Black that has nothing to do with drag. There you go.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So, is there somebody now? And it's not even being shady. Is there somebody that you just don't want to work with, or you don't look forward to working with? And it doesn't have to be shady. I know the last live we had, there was Matcha had brought up somebody she didn't want to work with, and
Right.
that person was offended. But I didn't know that person, and people's reasons, other reasons. It's nothing shady. It's just sometimes you don't. it doesn't even have to be you don't like them. It's just you guys don't mix well, or your personalities don't mix in the dressing room. It's hard.
So, I am an adult. And if
because you can work with whoever you need to professionally.
I know how to do that. I'm not here to be friends with someone who doesn't like me because it's just not happening.
Life's too short if I always say, bitch, if you've got beef with me, you've got beef on your own. Because I'm too busy over here living my life and
I've reached a point where
hardest,
there was a particular individual actually I had interacted with during the Kings edition that I ended up winning, and he and I had a bit of a confrontation. Online because he kept asking, do you like me? Do you like me? And I was like, well, I don't have to like you to work with you. Yeah. But I'm not going to sit here and get
we're not going to be besties. But I'm
also
not going to make you famous by arguing and fighting with you online.
Right.
So.
But like, this is the same person though that like maybe doing, like tabletop gaming with my girlfriend, and I'm totally down for that. Which I know I'm hoping Obsidian, if you do watch this, like we talked out, I'm cool. Like, we were both in a really bad place at the time. Like, I'm down to work with you.
And sometimes it's not even, like, that you hate somebody. It's like you both could be going through stuff that neither one of you know of, and it's just not the right place or the right time.
My big lines that if they get crossed is blatant transphobia. Like, if you start getting shitty on that, like, bye, bitch. Like, don't talk to me. Don't look at me. If you're going to get booked at the same time, that's fine. Do not throw transphobia at me. Do not throw internalized homophobia at me unless you're willing to have a constructive conversation.
And that's it. You don't ever even have to agree with somebody. But as long as you can have a conversation and agree to disagree and go your separate ways and not have that. Right. It's just like when you're in a room with somebody and there's something that they know ticks you off and you know that ticks them off. Why bring that up?
Right.
We can work together. We can be in the same room. And there's not many people that I don't want to work with. Right. I'm not having the best time with some people right now, but we're not going to call them out because this interview is about you. But that was it. Just somebody that... And see, you're ready to work with them again. Okay. How is your everyday persona different from...
I'm incredibly bipolar, so I do rapid cycle, occasionally going from mania to depression, and because of that, it can create...
Real quick, before we go from that, mental illness and like depression and manic and bipolar and stuff, that is like a very important thing.
Yes.
That needs to be... Oh, Constance is on. That needs to be talked about.
Hi, beautiful, I love you.
Because a lot of the time... As an entertainer, people look up to us, and they see us on the stage, and they live their life sometimes vicariously through us, and things like that. And they need to know that even as fabulous as they think that we are, and beautiful, and put together, and things like that. I left that nigga on red 'cause I fell. Okay, sorry, it's not always true. You know what I mean? Like we all go through stuff. As a person who is bipolar, has suffered from depression, manic depression, a chemical imbalance. It's very important for people to know that everybody struggles with those things, and they're never alone.
Yeah, that's why
and it happens. He's gonna keep calling me. Can you call Dickie's cell phone and tell him that I'm like live? So my mom, somebody. It's something that we all deal with, and it goes through it. And I had a very rough year this year. I don't talk about it often, but I was in a car wreck. Me and my husband, who had been together for 7 years, almost 8, split up, divorcing. My dog got hit by a car. There was some drama where I was on hiatus from work.
Last year fucking
This was a very bad year, and people don't understand that we go through it. Just because we're entertainers doesn't mean that stops us from having those real things. And mental illness and depression and things... Yeah. Everybody suffers from that, and it's so important to know that you're not alone, that even actors, entertainers, all of us have our own vices.
One of the big things that I deal with is, like last year, I didn't learn about the fact that psoriasis creates psoriatic arthritis, and I've been struggling almost my entire life with like my hands locking up and swelling, my knees.
Recently.
And like this last year, it was after I had my son. When I had my son, he after having him and stuff, your body really does shift hormonally. And now I struggle a lot with my knees. Like yesterday at my dance class that I take, I was like almost in tears because I was so frustrated with my knees locking up while I'm trying to do something.
People don't understand how bad it hurts either. Okay, but back. I just wanted to make sure that we touched base on the mental illness and things like that.
I'm also happy if you message me and unless my spoons are absolutely depleted, if you're ever having a bad day and you're not sure who to talk to, I am an abuse survivor. I am, I've been homeless most of last year. I was actually homeless Like, I was one of the reasons why I was crashing on Apollo's couch while I was doing that contest. I've been through a lot of shit that I am more than comfortable talking about, so if you need anyone to, like, commiserate, hi.
So I know people think I'm a bully and I'm an asshole, but I've been through a lot too. And every time, like, I take it seriously, like, when you see posts of somebody going through something or, like, unless you've been in that position, people can tell you till they're blue in the face, oh, just talk to somebody, just do something. That doesn't always help. No. But there are people to talk to. And sometimes it helps to talk to strangers. Somebody that you're not involved with all the time. So if there's ever, like he said, if there's ever a time that you feel like you need to talk to somebody, my inbox is always open and I'm always awake most of the time, unless it's daytime. Like, I'm a vampire. So from like 6 in the morning.
Cry. God, I love you. Constance and I really have, like, bonded over shit very quickly. Like, it's been a wonderful,
She's so awesome.
Yeah, no.
But we are here.
Yeah.
There's people to talk to, and just because we're on stage doesn't make us unreachable. Now, back to how is your persona different from each other? Because we'll all start crying.
Yeah, no. Juno is a very salty person. That is the best way. Like,
and guys, don't get that confused. He is talking about Juno himself, not the other Juno, because we do not need that drama.
Sorry, no, Juniper, me as Juniper, my nickname is Juno, which is kind of funny, and I always laughed every time I started seeing Juno Vibrans and stuff come up, because I'm like, fuck, I would pick that name. No, Juniper as a person is incredibly salty, but I'm still also incredibly outgoing. Like, I'm an incredibly empathetic person as well, which is something I try to really project with Francis, because again, having that character persona makes it easier for me to interact. And very recently, I mean, I've kind of known it my whole life, but I was not diagnosed properly as a child with autism, but I had my girlfriend, who is a psychologist, we had a very serious conversation. She said, if you can get in contact with someone who can help you try and find, some information on that, like coming to the realization that I am very autistic and I'm really good at hiding it. If you ever see the videos of like them having the autistic streaks, that actually helps, because it helps you reset your brain if you're freaking out. So yeah, I get really socially awkward and I don't know how to talk to people, but if you put me as Francis, I can just keep talking and bullshit my way through it.
Yeah, that's easy. It's easy to act like, as a kid, I was very uncontrollable. I talked so much. I could never shut up. I was hyperactive. So ADHD, a chemical imbalance, depression, bipolar disorder. Also, something that a lot of people don't know is I suffer from a mild form of Tourette's. Not like the funny TV curse words, ballsack Tourette's. Like, for a long period of time, I made a weird sound. And now that I'm going to talk about it today, it'll probably happen for a couple of days. But I used to like sit in front of the TV and I would go, like, I couldn't help it. Like, my brain literally made me do it. And the longer that I tried to not do it, the worse it got. Like, the impulse to do it was crazy. And I scrunch my eyes
it's a mental
so much. So if you
that's
ever see it, I'm like, I scrunch my eyes. Like, that's my new thing. But it's not, like, debilitating. Like, it's gone through my everyday life. I can still do. So, okay. What is your favorite part of performing and or drag?
I'd have to say getting ready, honestly, because it's that moment where I start shifting, which is funny because it's the most stressful thing as well. Because it's, especially if I'm on a time crunch, because I am ridiculously anal retentive about my timing. Like, holy shit. And then I start getting incredibly manic over it. But turning from Juno into Francis, or turning from Juno into Sasha, is such a therapeutic thing. That's why I went on live and stuff, because I wanted to really get to talking to people and, like, kind of, like,
you get to open up and just have a good time. And when you're able to talk and, like, have a good time through that transformation, like, that's the best part. So it's very important to have a healthy dressing room atmosphere full of friendship and love and light, as Frida would say, and to be able to reach that point. So what is your least favorite thing about getting in drag? Or
having to pee. Having to pee right before going on, because it's a curse. I swear to God. I think everyone experiences it.
We learn, and I teach my kids from a long period from doing drag, we do not eat the day of drag, and we do not drink until we are in drag for at least an hour. That way, if we need to get out, it's not a big deal. So we eat nothing, because the worst thing is having to go to the bathroom and drag. Once you are, and for me especially, 6 pairs of tights, 3 girdles, a corset, your tuck panties, whatever else is going on. It is awful. And then have to get it back perfect. Like, you all have no idea how hard padding and making yourself look symmetrical is to have to pull it off and go to the bathroom. So, awful. At what point in the transformation do you feel complete? I.e., like when you are putting on your hair, when your eyebrows are on, lashes, your beard, your mustache, like what?
The moment that I finish, if I'm doing all of my facial hair, like if I'm just doing my eyebrows the second they're on, and I've got eyeliner on, that's when I feel a lot more like, all right, we're becoming Frances now. Like
I live
today,
for your makeup too.
Thank you. The moment that I had finished like the Van Dyke and my eyebrows, I was like, all right, there he is. There's Frances. Now I've become Frances. You know, because then I can do my little touch-ups and things like that. Because even if I'm not wearing lipstick, if I've got the Van Dyke on it, I feel more masculine. I feel more of that, you know, that robotic essence.
Once the lashes are on, I start to feel my fantasy. But like, once you put lashes, hair, and pads together, I feel like a woman. That's the end of it. So, do you have a favorite artist to perform and or a favorite song?
I love Panic at the Disco. I love them. Listen, their first album came out when I was in high school, so like.
So you were just living the life.
I'm at that fine line where I just missed the emo train. I'm so glad I did, because I've been a goth kid the whole time, but it was that border. It was that border right there.
The scene here, we always think.
And it's a lot of Brendan Urie's more recent music that I really
so
vibe on.
Bad things.
I really do like Panic at the Disco.
Okay, but a favorite song, like. What song gets your life that you love performing? Or that you've always wanted to perform?
Recently, I finally performed Death of a Bachelor, because that was one that it's very dramatic, it's very classy, showman.
I would love to see you do Ludo Love Me Dead.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Don't you worry. Oh, I've got a whole thing for that.
People don't know that I know that stuff, but I used to be like one of those kids, you know.
Oh no, I actually have a routine I want to do
for
for whipped cream. As like the ultimate weeb trash man. Oh no, bitch! I found a T-shirt on Amazon covered in hentai girls, and they're like in the money shot. It's beautiful. It's in full color too. $15. I love it.
Oh my god!
Oh, just wait, because it's gonna be gross.
I'm ready. Do you remember the first? Do you remember the first show you ever seen? Like the first performer, the first show.
First show I ever saw in drag. So okay, it was years ago. And it was at Hamburger Mary's Tampa. It was actually where I first saw my first drag show. But it was like, I don't know if I was 19 or... No, I was 20. I was 20 years old. So, 7 years ago, but it's still a fucking lifetime.
Hamburger Mary's Ebor.
Yeah, Hamburger Mary's Ebor, which, was done real dirty.
Yes, the very current situation is not good for that.
Yeah,
no.
So that one, I got heartbroken, because that was the first time I ever saw drag live.
A lot of people's. So who was the first queen you ever saw?
I don't remember who it was that performed that night. Like, I should be able to find the pictures somewhere, and actually it should be on my Facebook. Because I recognize those faces, I just cannot remember who it was. But yeah, it was 7 years ago. It was for my friend's birthday party. And they were like, oh, why are you guys so dressed up? I'm like, oh yeah,
I
we're
was there
celebrating
7
everyone's
years ago. And I don't remember anything either. What is what made you or who made you want to be an entertainer?
So reversing back to 2010, I was really into belly dance. I still am, actually, and I will be performing eventually belly dance in drag. I figured that shit out. I'm so excited.
I love to make worlds collide.
So I was at my belly dance class when I was living in California with my friends Sierra and Emily, and they were talking about RuPaul's Drag Race. And they were like, oh, you would probably really like it. And it was the season that Alexis Mateo was on.
Season 3.
Yeah, so it was season 3. I couldn't remember if it was season 2 or 3 that I started with. And I started watching and I went, this is amazing. They're perfect. I love them. I want to do that. And at the time, I was still under the misguided idea that AFAB people couldn't do femme drag. And then I discovered Spiky. And then, years later, I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to do it. But yeah, no, it's... That season and season 2 were so influential on me, and then, season 4 as well.
can you tell them to not come in here with that? Okay, so do you have a most embarrassing moment in drag?
My tape popping. My titty never showed, but it popped, and I had a boob. You could see boob, like, full on. Like, I'm not fully bound right now because of allergies and stuff like that, and my other binder had to get shipped back. It's a whole fucking mess. But, like, I was, like, taping, and then this side popped, so you had just, like, full tit coming out. It was amazing. It's glorious, really. They're not small.
Mine aren't either. What's your most proudest moment in drag?
Actually competing at the finale for the first season of Just Slay, because I built the armor that I was wearing entirely by myself. The people that were supposed to help me, there was a whole series of people that were going to help me, and one person was just lived too far away, and the other people, they kind of flaked on me by accident. It was not intentional, so I had to do this shit from scratch by myself, never having done it before, and I was freaking out, but now I want a heat gun out of it.
So now that we're on to that subject, what do you make? What services do you offer? Because I know you make gloves.
I stone things. I also do, and my business is called Beauties and Bow Ties, which you can see on Facebook and Instagram. Although if you need to just message me directly on Francis Queerbot 9000. But I offer rhinestoning services. I can do. I can paint. But I will do pretty much anything you ask me.
I know you say you build armor and you stone. Right. I know there was gloves because Matcha had your gloves and things like that.
I do both nails and nailed gloves or just gloves, and it is not just limited to drag. I also stoned an entire gown for Oriana from Midnight Lotus Dance Company, which is a fantastic belly dance company. Who I take classes from. If there's a black and red dress she wears, I gotta get more pictures of it because this thing fucking glitters. Oh, it's beautiful. So my big thing that I enjoy doing is the rhinestoning, which I was taught by Arabella McQueen how to do that. So,
now it's Arabella McQueen, but I knew her as Princess Arabella because she started out at Valentine's too. Now, are you single or taken?
I'm taken.
Because inquiring minds want
right.
to know.
No, I am taken, but I'm poly. My partner and I are both polyamorous. So I actually met her. Let me give you the shortened version. So when I was married, still technically married, my ex was dating my girlfriend and at the time boyfriend, who was living in Washington. And then I started dating them. So you had like the four of us all together. Then we moved out to Washington. She got kicked out for doing some dumb shit. Really, really bad shit, actually. And then we moved to Tampa. I split off from the boyfriend who is married to my girlfriend, and now my girlfriend and I live together, and they're getting divorced. So yay, we're down to 2, but we are both poly.
I totally understand. I was in a polyamorous relationship for 2 years,
it's a
and
lot
then
of
one
work.
for one. So it's
a lot of fucking work.
I don't know how you did it with 4, because that's just too much. 3 was enough, but 4 is a little. So. What is it like dating as an entertainer, especially with your poly life and things like that? How is it? What's it like to date you or to be dating as you?
I'm manic as fuck. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like when I get into a manic episode, I have to have things just so. Which again is how we start finding out actually that bipolar disorder is a symptom. It can be a symptom of autism, which was a big indicator of me having gotten that missed. I'm really fucking manic. Like, that's the big thing you gotta understand. And I get weird if I don't have things just so. But Aria is...
Just so everybody knows, the interview just got a little weirder because my family came in. So not only did we have, like, my roommates and stuff, but my whole family has came in. So my mom and sister and her boyfriend and my dad, everybody's here. And my family's crazy and Italian, like to argue and fight. So I'm like, tell them don't start yelling because we're live. When we come in, just like, don't do it. Just give us a second. So now we're literally in front of a live studio audience. But
amazing. Do they applaud though?
Yeah, they will.
Yeah,
they will
I heard someone clapping. All right.
Now, do you have any titles?
Yes, I am the reigning winner of Do You Think You Can Drag Kings Edition, although I'm not sure if that is going to have a reprisal this year.
Well, just ride it out, girl. You're the first.
Oh, yeah. No, bitch. I got a fucking crown.
The alpha and the omega.
The picture of me in my profile picture where I'm wearing that tiara, like, I won that. I earned that shit.
We have, I have my own talent contest that has had 4 seasons called Amanda's Talent Race, and Sasha Sensation won the first one. The second one, I believe, was Tiana Van Ryan. Okay, so maybe only 3. I don't remember. But then Tay Monet won
Yeah.
the Liquid edition, and the contest is so fun. And so, what are your thoughts on talent contests, like judged or applause? What do you prefer?
I like both. Honestly, I do prefer judged because I feel it's a little bit more fair because usually the panel at that point has experience. They understand what you're doing. With that being said, the audience applause. While I do get that, I do feel frustrated with it sometimes because
sometimes it's not about talent; it's about how many friends you bring.
Right. With that being said, it's also an opportunity to just show your venue that you're hoping to work for, like the city side, that you bring a crowd. Which I knew I was going to have a crowd come out the other week, but holy shit, I did not expect that many people. And I didn't even know.
I promised everybody that I would start coming out. I promised that I would like try to get out more. And now that I'm promoting my Thursday, like it's been crazy, but I promised I would. Now a thing about contests and having them judge, it's a lose-lose situation because judges might not always get your aesthetic or what you're trying to do.
I guess I've been spoiled because my
applause.
panel of judges that I had for Just Slay was such a good balanced set of judges.
And that's it, but always somebody's going to be the bad guy.
Right.
So at Amanda's talent race, you did have judges. And the bottom two would battle it out, and one would stay by audience applause. So it was a good...
Okay. So you had a chance of
to do whatever, if you wanted to.
Connect with the
people.
And
that started so many years ago because there's so many great contests out there like TDRL, ODRL, and things like that. My contest started so many years ago, like 2006, 2005, and I had one of the largest talent nights in the Bay Area. The longest running talent night was Amanda's Talent Night Tuesdays at Valentine's. And so many great entertainers have emerged out of that and are now working and doing the things, and people don't understand that is a great way for you to get out.
Because even if you don't win, you're getting exposure and you're still able to earn tips and stuff like that. So it is one of those things where you have to give a lot of effort before you can start earning it back, which I cannot say I try to pay my bills now. So
lots of people don't understand that there is a thing it's okay to do 1 or 2 free shows, especially when you're first coming out. Go to a venue, show them what you're there to offer. But a venue then has to take into consideration after that first or 2 shows. Because I have a rule. You get 2, and then if you don't want to pay me, I'm not coming back. Because you have to know your worth. You have to know what you bring to the table. And, of course, they have to see it. But, do those talent nights. Get out there and do that so that people get to know who you are. And that's how you get a following. Jade literally started doing my talent night. And Carl, Aquarius.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting because Aquarius, and Lady Janet, Jolitza, all of them came and used to do my talent night. Now they're current reigning people and things like that. So those were all of my questions. Before we do go off or anything, I do need you to tell everybody your name one more time, where they can catch you, and plug any nights that you have coming up. And then we're going to go through a whole run through of what's going on in Tampa too.
Okay. So once again, I'm Francis Queerbot 9000. If I'm ever in FemFace, I'm Sasha Poison. You can catch me on, actually, pretty much hanging out at Cityside all the time now on Tuesday nights. But on the 12th, which is Tuesday night, that is going to be the Just Slay contest finale. That starts at 10 p.m. I am going to be competing with Bariana Allshade as well as Nick Licker Panic out of Lakeland. Who is fucking hilarious. That's another person.
Also hosted by Tay Monet, my good sisters, Tay Monet and Aubrey Nicole, a.k.a. Conundrum. So make sure you check that out. Tuesday the 12th.
The 12th, yes.
Okay, and that's where they can catch you around Cityside and things like that. All right, guys, don't forget that Tampa Bay has lots of local clubs and gay businesses, and they all need your support. If you get
I just thought of something too. I don't remember what it's being called or anything like that. I do know there's going to be a benefit show for Juno Vibrants coming up at the Asylum on the 22nd. I believe the show is starting at 10:30. I will be performing in that as well in the first half.
I've not been out to the Asylum since it's been to the Asylum. I judged a couple of contests when it was Buenas, and I had been to it when it was Krabari. The very first owner of Asylum Buenas, Krabari, his name was Chris Chagnon, and he started the Matrix here in Tampa, Valentine's Nightclub, Chelsea. Then he had Christopher Street. I think he had Z109 in Tampa. So he gave a lot of us opportunities. So I'd have been out there a couple of times. So, again, Tampa has lots of gay-owned, gay businesses, local entertainment, local entertainers. Make sure you support those. The problems that are going on with Hamburger Mary's and the county commissioner's office and the health board, be sure to keep up on that, support those people, make your voice heard on those kind of things, and let Kurt King and Hamburger Mary's know how much they mean to you. Seeing how Mary's was the place that a lot of us got our starts and had taken care of us and paid most of our bills for the last 10 years. Kurt King took care of us. There is also the Honey Pot that has something going on every night with Amy DeMilo and Elisa Summers and all the girls over there. There's Bradley's on 7th with Corey Stevens, Fiance, Jade Embers at Bradley's on Thursdays and things like that. There's also Southern Nights Tampa. Every Thursday night is 214, the February 14th Valentine's Club Night Throwback, which has Latin girls, all the old girls and all the stuff that we used to do at Valentine's happening at Southern on Thursdays. No cover. A $10, a $12, a $15, and a $25 all-you-can-drink special, $3 Long Island shows. This week coming up, we have Robin DeMornay, Michelle Devine, and Lady Janet. Make sure you come and check those guys out. I know on Saturday, Jade Embers and Roxy Andrews are there. Then they have their Wednesday So You Think You Can Drag contest. If you want to try out and do stuff, that's a great place to get started. Also, across the bridge in St. Petersburg, we have the, I forget what the bar is called right now. Iberian Roosters. I'm so over it. I drank last night. The Iberian Roosters open stage night with my good old, one of my daughters, a lot of people don't know, but Aquarius Infinity is also known as Lay On Your Bone. Her and her cohort, Adriana Sparkles, you know, you can go out there and catch them and make sure you support them. I know the Asylum is in Newport Richie. And they have coming up, I know the first night is February 10th. There is Drag Me to Hell.
Yes.
Which is Fear Factor, drag race, spooky, crazy, so much fun. So make sure if you have the chance or you're out that way, you check them out. One of my daughters is competing. Hallelujah. I know Matcha's in it. And Ripley, one of the up-and-coming people out here, his makeup is so sick.
Dante Cyrus is also in it.
Dante Cyrus. There's a couple of Sapphire or something, too. I can't remember her full name.
Ezra.
So make sure you check them out. Ezra Charming. I haven't met any of them yet, so hopefully we'll be able to do that. But also, if you're in the Tampa Bay area on February 10th, starting at, I believe, 7 o'clock at Crowbar, Kezra Leon, one of our local talents, is opening for like nationwide known. Big Frida is going to be in town. There is a big concert. He will be opening and performing. He's on that flyer. Big Frida, the Queen of Bounce from New Orleans. Make sure you check out Kezra's page, the Queen of the Night page, my page. We'll be posting links for you to buy tickets. It's not too expensive, and you get to go have a good time and support our local drag, our local artists. There is Kyle Kilgore's Altier. I don't know how to say it, girl. But he does clothes, girl. He sews and does shit. You can check him out. He's local around here. Make sure you go. If you guys are not doing anything every day of the week, we have Hamburger Mary, St. Pete, Clearwater, and Brandon giving you drag, giving you bingo, giving you everything. Make sure you make reservations and you check that out. Do not forget to support your local drag.
Lakeland Pulse also
Lakeland
always
Pulse
has something going on. Always.
I know Danny's got some stuff going on the weekends. I don't have anything, but you can always refer back to this page for ads and posts and know where everybody's going and what everybody's doing. I want to give a huge shout out and thanks to Francis Queerbot 9000 for showing up today. I know we took a little hiatus in between all the interviews. This will be posted on Facebook. It also will be saved so I can post it to YouTube later. It does take about an hour or two because these are actual big videos. But I do have a YouTube page. I will post the link to that. There's not that many things on there because I just started it. So literally Kezra's, Matcha's. There's I think a video of 20-second video of me spinning around in a chair because I was bored. And then this interview will be up. But again, this is Francis Queerbot 9000. He can be caught at Cityside. I know the finale's coming up on the 12th because me and Tay are in talks. I will probably be there on the 12th. So make sure you guys check that out. I am Joey, aka Amanda Bone. I know I don't have a beard today because I did shave it for a show a couple of weeks ago, but you can catch you can catch me on Thursday nights at Southern Nights Tampa hosting that 214, the Valentine's Throwback Party. Hip hop, Latin, everything the Valentine's used to be. So make sure you come and check us out. Oh, I love you too.
Love you, Devin.
Hopefully we can get Constance, Ashley, you guys all out here soon to Tampa because I don't like going over there, girl. That place is crazy. But hopefully we can get you guys over here soon so that we can go through some drag and and do a couple of interviews. This was great. I'm so glad that we got to do this. And you were nervous, and there was no reason because you did freaking phenomenal in front of the camera. Like,
well, once I'm there, I'm just like, hello, look at me, I'm pretty.
That's
There's
it.
a camera.
What did you say earlier? Nobody gets a drag unless you want to be seen. Like, that's literally, you want attention. So
yeah, no, nobody gets in front of a camera. Like, no, if you're doing drag, you want people to love you. Love me.
Remember to tip your girls, too. It's not just because a bitch is on TV. I know we're all excited about Drag Race, but local girls work just as hard, if not harder, for that coin. So if you got $1, throw it at a bitch up there shaking her ass. You have no idea how hard it is to tuck your balls into your asshole or strap your titties back and get up on the stage and shake your ass for strangers and be sweaty and nasty and have to shave your beard. It's worth $1. So
you know,
don't
I
forget
actually
to do
shave my face whenever I go to paint so that I don't have any peach fuzz in the way. So, like, even we're shaving our faces, y'all.
I don't like to shave. All right, guys. We'll see you next. I'm the hairiest bitch you'll ever see. I only shave what you're going to see. So my titties and up to my belly button, and that's it. My legs are hairy when I'm in drag. Don't ask. There's 6 pairs of tights. Like, I'm so over it. So,
create the illusion. Nobody cares.
Yes. All right, guys. We'll see you next time on... welcome to our TED Talk. We'll see you next time when we do... we got into, like, mental illness. We'll see you next time when we do our next interview. But again, I want to thank Francis. And now his name will be in that running for some free hair or some free makeup or something. If you'll give me that box over there. I forgot about this. Kezra actually got pulled from the first 2 because we took so long. He was the one that won something. I was getting or am getting a Allure beauty box in the mail, which has like lots of weird stuff. This month I've got like Mally eyeshadow pens and facial stuff and like facial glow and body scrub and stuff like that. So I take out of these and I give them to one winner who comes and actually does my interviews and stuff like that. So they will get some makeup. Shout out to Allure. If you want, you can sign up for these boxes. Allure, if you want to sponsor us drag queens and all of our
sponsor,
crazy,
please.
totally down for that. But for like $12-15 a month, they will send you. Hey, power! They will send you some interesting makeup. Excuse me.
Power.
Everybody say power. Kezra actually got a what was the palette from? Juvia's Place mini palette that came in last month's thing. And so we have, like I said, there's all kinds of stuff. I got some, like, I didn't know nail polish costs $18, but I got some $18
my
nail
limit's
polish.
$8 to $9.
She said, hey, y'all. But there is some sort of incentive. And I have a whole garage full of drag. You can ask Francis, who has toured some of it today. And I am always getting rid of stuff and helping out. So there's hair and all kinds of stuff. And I help out cheap. I make pads. Francis makes gloves and does all kinds of stuff with heat guns. I have a 3D pen now, so I can make. I have the stencils to glue to the top of the glove, so it looks like bone or robot armor. So we're gonna have to talk about that.
I'm also down to do collab. Like, I'm down for doing collaborations and stuff and exchanges. Because if I can't do something, because I can't sew for shit, I don't have the room for it right now.
My mom sews. Sasha sews.
You sew something, I'll stone you something. Like,
so if you need something sewed, all you have to do is reach out, or if you need something sewn, my mom sews. Sasha sews. There's so many people around the Bay Area. Corey Stevens, Alicia Markstone, they all sew. There's plenty of stuff. You just have to, I can't remember the one. There's Beverly Wild sews. So make sure you check all them out. I am going to end the video now because we were talking. But remember, there is some sort of incentive. So Francis will be into that drawing and we will go from there. Now everybody's joining. But we're going to let you guys go. We will post the video so you can share and watch it later. But thank you guys for tuning in.